set. If just semis was exciting as that last set, I can't imagine how much more exciting the finals is going to be. Of course, congratulations already to both of these players for immediately qualifying for the tournament that will be happening later in December. What? And I just
right
got
into
word
the map
from
draft.
HQ.
It's going to be great.
Yes, the maps are currently being drafted, so you can see the sick drafting animation for you guys. I believe that should be up fairly soon, if it not is already.
I believe in Chris. Chris is a god. So we do have the bands coming in. Battlewrong, of course, getting rid of Ormond Temple. Nobody likes that map. Ormond Temple Knight already off the table. Skyring Day will follow up. That's a little bit more interesting. Skyring is kind of considered a staple map. Nobody dislikes it. Both Ormond Temples now off the table for Battlewrong. Yet again, kind of the standard picks. Mount Ara's Day follows through from Earthwater. That's yet again a very standard map. They're kind of saying, if you're not going to ban these maps, we're giving you the choice now. Do you want to ban Mount Ara's Night or Skyring Night? Take either one of these maps already out of the pool entirely, or you can go for one of Blackstone. These are all unique maps. Blackstone Night is the map that's chosen to be removed. And yet again, we still have two completely unique maps that can be taken out. Earthwater Arrow need to make their pick now, and they will be choosing... I would say most likely Skyring. That would have to be my pick. It doesn't fit with their play style. It's got maps that don't work well when you're dealing with a rook. So I would go instantly with the ban on Skyring, but maybe we'll see something interesting.
Yeah, who knows? Of course, the three maps have now been chosen for the arena set. This will be a best of three once again, of course. Not going to make semis best of three and then finals best of one. That'd be awkward. So this will be a best of three once again for you guys, for all of your viewing and hype pleasures. And I'm going to say it again because I said it last game. I expect nothing but a game 3, round 9 situation.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. All right. And we did see the second ban coming through. Mount Ara's Night was banned, and Blackstone Arena Day followed through, meaning we're left with Skyring Night for the grand finals, the grudge match. And I do apologize, you were misinformed. This is a best of one.
Oh, I was very misinformed.
You might go, that's silly. It's the finals. That's the thing. It's basically a grudge match. The winner of this doesn't get any special advantage over the other. They've already both qualified for the league, so we don't want to keep the teams too long. They've already played an exhausting amount of Battlerite, but at the same time, we need to know which team is best. So we will get the one more match coming our way, and it will hopefully be enough to sate your hunger, give you a taste of what's to come in the full league.
Alrighty, well then I hope that this best of one is just as exciting as the last best of 3. So I expect to see nothing less but a game 1, round 9 situation from these two teams. So what do you think the team comps? Do you think we're going to see any variation? Of course, Earth, Water, Arrow has been sticking to their guns for the majority of the entire day. Actually, they have not switched off their comp yet. But we've only. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We saw a double healer comp be interestingly successful. So I'm going to be interested to see if maybe somebody's tempted to roll that out here. I don't expect to see any significant changeover on Pharos and Co. We heard them in an interview saying, "Yeah, just stick with what's fun. We're here to have fun. We're here to play what we enjoy." So I don't expect they're going to do anything special.
Yes, indeed. And to explain to a few of the people, once again, I see some guys are confused. It is a grudge match because this is not a prize pool tournament. So the winner, there really is no first place at the way we think it. This isn't a tournament for first place. It is a tournament in order to qualify for a tournament series that will be happening later this December. The actual Battlerite Community League will be happening. So the top 2 teams from today, as well as the top 2 teams of the other qualifiers, are qualified now for the league. that will happen. So since both of these teams are in grand finals now, are qualified, there's really no reason to say who wins over the other. But for the sake of fun and for the sake of bragging rights, the winner, uh, they get nothing. They just get a bragging rights. So that's why it's called a grudge match, because it's not really for the tournament. It's just for bragging rights, essentially.
Well, it will be a fun match regardless, because it will be two of the best teams in the tournament, obviously, but I would say beyond that, two of the most fun teams to watch in the tournament and the league. So we will be continuing, of course, as they go ahead and lock in the picks. We should note that the website we use to display that draft on the screen is publicly available. You can go to battleritedrafter.com for all the information you need to run your own draft for maybe your pickup game, your own tournament, something along those lines. It's a nice, easy-to-use website made by the community for the community, a bit like this tournament series.
Yes, indeed. By and for the community is the way we do it here at the Battlerite Community Series. A lot of the word series, a lot of the word community I use in that one sentence. But regardless, there has been no switch to team comps besides Mr. Whodat now making that, I believe, what is a comfort pick back to Lucy instead of Sirius. Actually, no, this is a completely new team entirely. Emperor is now Rukon. Mr. Whodat is now Lucy. So what do you think inspired the complete switch of team comps?
I don't know. I think it's probably just, I feel like this, you feel like that, let's switch. I don't think there's any rational planning going out onto that. What's interesting to me is Emperor no longer running the Rook. That's probably influenced by the map. As I called out, I think they should have banned this, because they like running Rook, and Rook isn't viable on this map. But they didn't go for this ban. Instead, they opted for a different one, and I believe it's cost them.
Yes, so we will see the... I know Emperor is just as comfortable with Rukon as he is with Rook. Not too different as far as playstyle goes. Just can't charge halfway across the map. But as we're talking now, Fireblaze dropped fairly low, taking quite a bit of damage from JD. We know JD being quite the MVP with that whirlwind is exactly what just happened right now. Is going to continue the aggression onto Fireblaze with that javelin, and Impale going to close out the life. And now it looks like the blue team is falling way behind, of course, being Earth, Water, and Arrow.
Earth, Water, Arrow now looking for a way to get back in, and it will be the dash out of Emperor trying to close the distance. There's the Shadow Bolt missing, and it will be a nice claw of the Wicked to go ahead and pull in Pharaohs, but the silence rolls through, and Emperor is suffering. He is able to pick up the HP nuggets, but already Mr. Whodat and Fireblaze have both fallen as the Dragon Slayer does fly past. Emperor's in a bit of a tough situation. You see the Reaping Sight follow through that. Interesting waste of the X ability. I would personally have loved for him to go for a Wraith form, but it will end the same way.
Yes, once again, JD, I want to take a quick look at that damage. 773 done, and it looks like 215 of that was from Whirlwind. So he used two fairly game-changing Whirlwinds there. One was used to close out the life of Fireblaze, and the other was used to close out the life of Mr. Whodat. No, sorry, Mr. Whodat and Emperor. So 2 Whirlwinds and 2 kills for JD coming out. That was just a phenomenal play. Once again, it's been a while since we've seen these guys. So of course, we had such a long set with Fireblaze's team, E.W.A versus Battle Rewrite. But you cannot forget about JD and his whirlwinds, man.
No, he's definitely one of the more impressive Shifus I've seen in recent play. And he will be having a chance to employ those skills here as he leaps in onto Mr. Whodat, the healer on the other side. Clarity Potion keeps him at range, but the damage is still coming in.
Yeah, and Pharaoh's now getting a little bit too deep into the front line as Emperor and Fireblaze are dishing out as much damage as they can. They aren't seeming to land much of anything as Pharaoh's is still at a fairly healthy HP on the other side. Now JD trying to take on some damage of Mr. Whodat. There's the ultimate. He knew the Clarity Potion was not going to be very helpful. The barrier came out just a little bit too late after Mr. Whodat lost about half of his HP. Now they're going to try and struggle to get a little bit of HP back up as they maintain orb control. And now blue team, being E.W.A, trying to re-solidify themselves with this crippling goo. Going to do a ton of damage onto both Fireblaze and Mr. Huda.
Will be all of a sudden a lot of focus onto Nirakaiden. He goes ahead, he slides back on in there to do a bit of chip damage. It will be Pharaohs able to fall back around the corner though, and Pharaohs will begin to rain in the damage if he's given the opportunity. If he's given the silence, it will truly begin to cause an effect. He's going to dive around the corner, of course, empowering that primary weapon. Nice Dragon's Flare rolls through, crippling Mr. Huda greatly, and it will be the Shifu of JD continuing to play very aggressive, looking for the punish. Not able to secure it this time, but he'll be quite happy to continue trying until he is able to do so. Meanwhile, Emperor is getting significant damage off onto the opposing Jumong. He will have to pull back around the corner as JD's Whirlwind threatens him, but the Tornado Warning comes in time and he's able to grab the execution.
Yeah, JD falling in a snipe with that Shadow Emperor, going to close out both Pearl and Nara in the back line. Beautiful stuff from Battlewrong I'm sorry, not Battlewrong, E.W.A. Maintaining a little bit of what they had from last game, a little bit of that momentum, and able to close out a second round, or a first round for them, but the second round of the match. We see Nara actually opting on Jumong on the opposing team, actually opting for a more defensive build with Panther instead of that Seeker's Mark trap. Sorry, not Seeker's Mark. The Deadly Trap is what it's called. Regardless, he's opting for a more defensive build with this Panther choice. We kind of see across the line, JD, of course, the Impale build, and Fireblaze with the identical defensive build. So they kind of respecting each other in the sense that they know that they're going to need some more defensive options because of the insane amount of burst that is available for both teams.
Will be Fireblaze. Going to peek around the corner. You talk about defense. There's Pharaohs throwing out the bubble barrier. Nice timing there, but the arrows still actually nail JD as he's on the retreat. He will be able to do so though. Seeker's Mark lands and Incapacitate right in the middle of the rain of arrows. That's not ideal at all. Incapacitate does land on a Fireblaze, but it's only temporarily, and as JD tries to extricate himself from that situation, he's going to take significant damage. There is the Dragon Slayer missing all targets from Nirakainen now as he comes around the corner to try and guarantee the kill, the damage onto Emperor. It's not ideal at all. It's a very bad situation indeed. And it will be the teleport off the back of the country into the backlines. JD trying to pull back, trying to get around the corner, but a crippling coup. That's too much damage to dodge over too much space, and he will fall. Now, it's all on Pharaohs. He is able to land one silence off the back of a counter. The bubble shield does come through, funded by that perhaps, but the focus will come through regardless. There's the heals off the back of the dive, but he still falls to a Shadow Bolt. And I frankly don't see what you can expect out of Emperor here.
Not much. To be fair, there's kind of a 1v3 situation here where Nirakaiden stuck in this 1v3 situation. I don't think they have much tools to get out of this. Emperor going to go aggressive, going to get right in their face with that silence and closing it out with a slow motion. What is that move called? Defile Blade? Yeah, Defile Blade.
The secret is, there is no Defiled Blade.
Wow.
It was because of the slow motion. I was making a Matrix reference.
Oh.
I know.
I got you now. All right.
Yeah,
on the same page, and it looks like E.W.A have found their stride. This is what they did last time ago. Oh no, this one happened. This is the other team. But it looks like they have found their stride now, up 2 in a row as JD trying to apply this pressure onto Mr. Huda. A nice barrier going to come out to relieve some of that pressure, but he did not get him off him whatsoever. The bubble going to kind of create some space in favor for E.W.A actually, as Mr. Huda finally getting out of that situation as Skywind finding some damage onto JD, but a Whirlwind going to miss that situation right up the Nether Void, having to get out of that situation as Pharaohs now kind of in the front line, has to play back a crippling goo. He has no dive, and a Dragon Slayer going to come from the other side of the map to close out the remaining HP of Pharaohs. Beautiful play from E.W.A.
Whirlwind was cancelled mid-cast, and that's it. That's the focus on the JD. that's really coming through for Earth, Water, Arrow. When they're able to isolate JD from his healer, it works brilliantly. When they're able to isolate the healer from JD, it works brilliantly. It all comes down to picking apart this tight formation of Pharaohs and JD, because the second they're not playing together, the second they're not functioning as this tandem tag team dive team of doom, it falls apart fairly quickly.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. JD, I'd like to see him kind of bait out these defensive options a little bit more. He's kind of just going in and sticking to one target. He doesn't really have much versatility in the sense that he's like switching targets very quickly, and that's kind of something you need with this Jumong comp. You need to be very versatile in the sense that if Jumong lands a trap or lands something on somebody else, you need to be able to switch very quickly. But you see him now kind of just tunnel visioning onto Rukon. It seems to be working, as now Emperor is about half HP, and now Shifu is sticking onto Fireblaze, trying to create some pressure, but a crippling goo going to be a lot of Pharos' HP as Fireblaze relentlessly follows her afterwards, and that should be the remaining HP of Pharos now gone, as Fireblaze leads on to take out even more members of Battlewrong.
It will be JD with the Whirlwind Ultimate flying through, a lot of damage coming out of it. Double incapacity will land, but the panic kept JD from capitalizing on it at all, and Emperor will look to capitalize on a great Dragon Slayer instantly. JD, he sniped and removed. Mr. Hudat does also need a Dragon Slayer, but there's nobody to capitalize, and as a result, it will now be map point, tournament point for Earth, Water, Arrow.
Yes, these guys have had the momentum since they began their win streak against Battlerite in game number 3. Because I believe that was a reverse 5-0. So now they've only lost one single round in the past 10 rounds that they've played. So they must be feeling pretty good going into possibly the last round, as Fireblaze sitting in the front, throwing out these Hunter arrows. Emperor getting a nice grip on the Shifu, but they did proc that counter. He is now getting a lot of damage on the Fireblaze. Fireblaze looking incredibly low. It looks like he might be the first to drop. No, able to get out of that situation, but procs yet another counter as JD is going to put on as much damage as they possibly can. Not able to find the kill yet. And now JD, yet another counter hit, trying to find something. The Whirlwind is active, gonna take out
one.
Possibly 2 members. No.
It will be the Dragon Slayer flying out. That misses almost everything, but Emperor is still very low on HP. There's the commit from JD. He will be able to guarantee the kill now. Mr. Hudat in a 1-on-3. This is possible, but very, very unlikely. And indeed, the focus will begin to come through, and he's wasted his opportunity. His touches are actually quite impressive, but ultimately futile, as he will be focused out and removed. Mr. Hudat falling along with the dreams of a clean 5-0 sweep in the grand finals. It will now be 4-2, and the beginnings of a comeback perhaps for Battlewrong.
Yeah, it appears that every single round that Battlewrong wins is due to JD landing phenomenal whirlwinds. And so I feel like it's going to come down to how many situations does JD have to set up for big damage with that whirlwind. They don't seem to be finding much of anything else. So JD obviously taking the MVP of that last round. We'll see if he'll be able to do it again, or if this will go immediately to E.W.A for the tournament.
JD playing very aggressive here, not being punished for it at all, as Mr. Hudat is just being pinned to a wall. Finally the root lands and he will be able to recommit, but JD is the real story, and there's that whirlwind you were talking about. He's going to be incapacitated in the middle of it, but the focus still comes out with Mr. Hudat, and he's taking so much damage. Sure, the barriers there, but the incapacitated follow through is excellent. By the time he gets back around the corner, he's already so low on HP that when the kill comes through, it's not if, when it comes through, Emperor needs to be ready. Now the focus shifts on the Fireblaze, but Emperor, he's not ready. He didn't read the way it was going, and as a result, he's separated another team, gets a free kill onto the isolated Jumong. Now, in a 1-on-3, he's not going to win this, and he will go down fairly quickly indeed. The ultimate comes through. Wales, a little bit short, but not needed necessarily, as we're now at 3-4.
Yes, wow. Again, with these ridiculous responses coming from all the teams, I think they're just trying to mess with us. They're like, okay, how close can we make it seem like we're going to lose? and then immediately come back as hard as possible. So Battlewrong doing just that. They were but 1 round away, still 1 round away from losing, but now they're only 2 rounds away from winning. Gotta always look at the bright side. So they are bringing a little bit of a comeback
glass
here.
half full kind of guy.
Yeah, these guys are a 1 round away from losing. They're more of a 2 round away from winning kind of team right now, as they're trying to keep that perspective. We did hear Furrows. He was very confident in his ability to win today, and it looks like Red Team is going to steal up that orb. They are going to have a slight energy advantage, as Emperor is trapped in this rain of arrows. A lot of damage came out on top of him, but JD feared away, gonna relieve some of that pressure as Mr. Houdat now is the focus, looking very, very low. He has no escapes, a Dragon Slayer, point blank. That is going to be a lot of damage and a whirlwind. JD is looking to close out Emperor. Noah Consume. Going to be just enough to get him out of that situation with 3 HP remaining. That should be it. No, another Consume. Okay, now you're dead. But
Fireblaze buying a little bit of space, but he shouldn't be able to win this, frankly, and he will get some decent damage onto JD, but the focus will still come through. JD with the heals coming in will allow him to get very, very, very aggressive and tear him apart. And that's it, we're tied up. We're going to the final round of the grand finals. And oh boy, is that appropriate.
Round number 9, just as I said, I expected nothing less besides a last round situation. Currently, Battlewrong with the momentum as they have won the last 3 in a row. My apologies. So we're going to see if that momentum means anything. So far today, momentum has meant a whole lot of jack, because there has been a lot of reverse sweeps, and we might just have that here in the last round of grand finals.
Already, Pharaoh's actually taking the damage. There's the incapacitates. Emperor wailing on in. This is it, actually, because Pharaoh's has taken so much damage. He's not able to secure him. The counter is completely wasted. Now he's panicked out. Sure, there's a double tendon slash off of JD, but already there is Pharaoh's gone. Now Neurokaiden will be the next target if they prioritize correctly, which they very well should. There's the whirlwind into the right form. JD won't be able to do too much damage through that, and he's going to actually be isolated now in a 1-on-3. He falls too, and it's all down to Neurokaiden for the tournament. He needs to pull something absolutely fantastic out of the bag, but he's been silenced, driven back, and just isolated in a 1-on-3. The ultimate, the Dragon Slayer, has cancelled. Emperor with the 360 kill to guarantee the tournament. Earth, water, arrow, walk away with it all. The anime comeback feeds in to the anime villain shut down in the grand finals as they put the final nail in the coffin. 5-4, E.W.A. take the grudge match, and they've already sealed their place as part of the BCS League later on this very same Twitch channel.
My, oh my, what a tournament that we've had for you guys here today. I hope you guys enjoyed all the way from the round number 1 to the finals here today. I think every single game we had, or nearly every single game, went down to about the last round. So quite the exciting sets we've had for you today. If you guys have liked what you heard, please drop this Twitch channel a follow. They are just now starting with this Battlerite series, and they are doing such amazing things for the community. So please do yourself and everyone else in the community a favor. Drop these guys a follow and be on the lookout for their next tournament set.
Yep. And of course, you can also, if you would like a little bit more towards the league, you want to know all the details, you should absolutely check out the website over at bresport.com. Once again, that's bresport.com. Your hub for all information about the Battlerite community series and everything you could ever hope to know. Of course, thank you very much for watching the stream, all 150 of you on average. My name has been TJ. You can find me on Twitter, should you want to, at esportstj. My co-caster has been the one and only Rita Fuda. Where would I find you?
You can, of course, find me on Twitter at RudaFuda. I do a lot of different casting for different games. So if you guys are into Super Smash, the Wii U, Pokken, or Battlerite, I do a lot of those streams. So you can look out for that.
He does the games on the Nintendo.
Yes, the Nintendo Blidio Blades.
I just love myself some Nintendo video gamers.
And you being the quite opposite PS background.
Well, either way, It's been a great time casting this tournament, and I hope you guys go ahead and not only follow this stream to keep yourself updated, but also follow all the relevant social media for the Battlerite Community Series. Hang out in the official Discord where you can get up to the moment updates, and of course hang out with all the teams and players' personalities that were joining us today. Check out our Twitter. You can find all the links to the relevant information right below this stream and all the various panels. It's been great. And I hope you guys will show up next time we broadcast on this very same channel. Good night or good morning, depending on where you are in the world.